Welcome to the Global Focus Review channel. The Bible introduces certain individuals with just a single verse. However, due to the nobility of these characters, specifically princes and princesses, their stories are well known and comprehended. In this video, I will discuss the adoptive mother of Moses, who happens to be the Egyptian princess and daughter of the Pharaoh. If you're interested, please show your support by liking, subscribing to the channel, commenting, and don't forget to share with others who are also curious about the Princess of Egypt, the adoptive mother of Moses, and her untold narrative. Before we explore the identity of Moses' adoptive mother, it is crucial to revisit Moses' tale. His biological mother, a Hebrew Israelite named Yaakht, made the decision to place him in a basket on the Nile River. From a distance, his sister Miriam watched over the basket, ensuring his safety. However, while Miriam took a moment to rest, the basket vanished into the river. It was at this point that the Princess of Egypt discovered the basket. In this chronological context, it is believed that this princess was Hatshepsut, the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose. This Pharaoh, Thutmose, was the reigning king of all Egypt during that time. Thutmose, also known as Thosa I, was a pharaoh of ancient Egypt who held power during the 18th dynasty, roughly between 1506 BC and 1493 BC. He is often regarded as the third pharaoh of this dynasty, succeeding Osis I and following a series of kings from the 17th dynasty who fought against the Hyksos, a group of Asian invaders who had occupied parts of Egypt. Thutmose I is most renowned for his successful military campaigns, which expanded Egyptian territory and solidified the authority of the 18th dynasty. He led military expeditions in the Levant and Nubia, extending Egyptian influence over these regions. His conquest in Nubia played a pivotal role in securing control over trade routes and acquiring valuable resources. Additionally, during his reign, Thutmose I initiated significant construction projects, including the erection of temples and monuments in various locations throughout Egypt. The princess who encountered Moses at the River Nile is widely believed to be Hatshepsut, the daughter of Pharaoh Thutmose. Certain sources indicate that Hatshepsut was approximately 15 years old at the time when she, along with her attendants, noticed the basket containing the Hebrew baby. Upon finding him, she made the decision to adopt the child of Semitic origin as her own. Moses' biological mother was the wife and half-sister of Pharaoh Thutmose II, who himself was the son of Thutmose I. This intricate family dynamic arose due to Thutmose II having multiple wives and concubines. The involvement of a concubine added complexity to the situation, making Moses only partially related to his brother in this account. The practice of incest, which was common among royalty and nobles in ancient Egypt, was accepted among Semitic peoples. For instance, Abraham, before the Mosaic law was established in Israel, married his half-sister Sarah. Although the Israelites prohibited marriage between half-siblings, other Semitic groups continued to wed relatives such as cousins and nephews. Moses' biological mother was indeed the aunt of his father, named Aaron, who, in turn, was the nephew of Hatshepsut. The marriage between Hatshepsut and her brother Thutmose II had a relatively short duration, as suggested by archaeologists and Egyptologists. Some sources indicate a reign of only 3 years, while other ancient historians claim it lasted approximately 13 years. Hatshepsut, as Moses' adoptive mother and the daughter of the Pharaoh, played a significant role in history, particularly in the adoption and upbringing of Moses. In her time, Hatshepsut even assumed a quasi-pharaoh role, with some asserting that she took charge of Egypt in place of Thutmose I's son, who was born to a concubine and was still too young to become the pharaoh of all Egypt. During that period, Shepu held the positions of both queen and pharaoh of Egypt. Only a few individuals are aware of the intrigue surrounding Moses' mother, particularly due to the misinterpretation by some regarding the pharaoh of the Exodus. Many believe it to be Ramses II, in which case Moses' mother would be identified as Henetmea, daughter of Sai. From the age of 3 until 35, Moses resided in a palace and received education and instruction from the ancient Egyptians on various aspects of antiquity. This upbringing made him a knowledgeable and well-informed individual in ancient times, as the Egyptians highly valued wisdom and knowledge. Moses' childhood occurred during the reign of Pharaoh Thutmose, who ruled ancient Egypt at that time. Throughout this period, Moses received diverse instruction. During most of his late adolescence, he lived under the rule of Pharaoh Thutmose II. The specific events of this period are connected to the death of an Egyptian, which Moses witnessed as a taskmaster mistreated a slave. The gender of the slave is uncertain and subject to tradition, leading to discrepancies regarding the victim's identity. Some believe the slave was male, while others consider them to be female. Enraged by the situation, Moses killed the Egyptian upon realizing or already knowing that the man was not a native Egyptian, but rather a Semite, specifically a Hebrew Israelite. Contrary to the popular notion that Ramses II, his brother, had a close relationship with Moses, the more chronological and biblical accounts do not support such proximity. In reality, Moses did not have a profound acquaintance with Thutmose III, who was the pharaoh responsible for keeping the Israelites in Egypt and preventing their departure. Thutmose III ascended to the throne after the death of his father, Thutmose II. Initially, the regency was shared with his stepmother, Hatshepsut, who was the widowed queen and later became pharaoh after Hatshepsut's demise. Thutmose III eventually took full control and initiated a series of military campaigns that established Egypt as a dominant power on the international stage. The pharaoh is best remembered for his successful military expeditions in the Levant, where he defeated the combined forces of the princes of Syria and Palestine in the renowned Battle of Megiddo, which occurred around 1457 BC. This historical conflict is often regarded as the initial recorded battle in human history, and the triumph of the Egyptians is commemorated in historical documents like the reliefs found at the Karnak Temple. Those are three, known for his contributions to the construction and restoration of temples and monuments in Egypt, notably erected the renowned Karnak Temple in Luxor and implemented significant enhancements to other sacred sites. Despite the challenges posed by plagues, those three maintained his staunch resolve, challenging the authority of God. In reality, Moses was considerably older than the then 50-year-old pharaoh Those III when Moses presented himself. Moses was already 80 years old, while his brother Aaron was 83 years old. Shifting focus back to Moses' adoptive mother, Queen Hatshepsut, surprisingly lived until the age of 84 before her passing. Despite assumptions that she was still alive when Moses returned from Midian to Egypt, the truth is that she had already passed away. Moses spent approximately 40 years in Midian prior to his return to Egypt. This intriguing aspect connected to Queen Hatshepsut adds a captivating layer to the narrative. Hatshepsut, who proclaimed herself as the daughter of the deity Mana, interpreted the discovery of Moses in the basket on the Nile River as a divine sign from the ancient Egyptian gods. The Nile River god, or possibly another deity associated with the river. She perceived it as a message intended for her and bestowed the name Moses upon the child in the basket. In Egyptian, the name Moses signifies a deity referred to as the son of the waters, or one who is rescued from the waters. This signifies the literal interpretation of the name Moses, which indicates its connection to the Nile River. Some speculate that Moses might have had a lengthier name, similar to Rames, meaning son of Ar. However, it's possible that a portion of the name was erased because Moses was no longer considered Egyptian, and a pagan name would not have been appropriate for someone who served the unique God of Israel. Although Hatshepsut is the daughter of Thutmose, the pharaoh of Egypt, she did not truly regard him as her father. As mentioned earlier, Hatshepsut believed herself to be the actual daughter of the deity Amun-Ra. While scholars and Egyptologists acknowledge that Hatshepsut's name has been somewhat erased from ancient Egyptian history, they have not been able to eliminate all references to her. Some argue that the pharaoh who succeeded Thutha III, the pharaoh of the Exodus who opposed Moses and witnessed the divine plagues, may have contributed to this erasure. It is alleged that the Egyptians harbored a certain bias against Hatshepsut due to her relationship as the adoptive mother of Moses, bringing a Semitic slave to the Egyptian court and raising him as her own. Undoubtedly, Hatshepsut, the daughter of Thutmose I and the adoptive mother of Moses, is a captivating and intriguing figure in sacred scriptures and the history of ancient Egypt. I hope everyone enjoyed this video on Hatshepsut. Don't forget to leave your likes and comments at the conclusion of the video. With that being said, may you all stay blessed by God, and I'll see you soon.